and that's where the film ends. So
I
I
think
prepared
I
for
think
this.
मेरा record
Curtain,
मेरा
curtain to
summary का
curtain,
record
Ali
Ali ने
has
break कर दिया. But
When I heard about you guys starting this podcast, no, I just imagined myself saying like, if I were to discuss one movie, which one would it be? And it was just instinctively like, this would be it.
मतलब मेरे को शाहरुख हम हर चीज में अच्छा लगता है गाइस लाइक वो शेव कर लिया वो स्टबल रखे मतलब बट शाहरुख खान वेयरिंग रेबन इन फौजी क्लोथ्स
Hello, everybody. Welcome to 10 रुपए की Pepsi. हमारा शाहरुख sexy. We are three friends. Me, Disha, Preeti. We meet weekly. We watch one SRK movie and we discuss it. That's the entire scope of this podcast. Welcome
but
if
तुम्हारा
you're
नाम क्या है?
coming here for the first time. Digvijay. Sorry. Right. Obviously, I had to make a basic mistake. But today we're not just three friends. We have our fourth friend also. Ali, say hi.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah. So we have these guest episodes every fourth sort of episode, and we let them decide the movie. So Ali decided Tak Hai Jaan. I will just hand over to Ali, and he can tell us why exactly he selected this movie, and then give us a plot as well. Over
Okay.
to you, Ali.
also we should acknowledge he's a loyal listener
Oh,
and
he's
Yeah, I was
a-
going to
he-
say that. I was going to
like
Top five
he's a common
fans for
friend of
sure.
all of us
yeah,
So
he's
I
a
was
very
going-
loyal listener.
yeah.
He listens to all our episodes, which is either like just like immediate family or like 2-3 friends at max, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I was going to start by saying hello, fellow listeners, because I am one of you.
Aw.
But today I'm a official member of this podcast. So again,
Yes,
hello
yes.
everyone. I chose Jab Tak Hai Jaan. So I think like a direct reason is that when I heard about you guys starting this podcast, I just imagined myself saying like, if I were to discuss one movie, which one would it be? And it was just instinctively like, this would be it. Then I
Aw.
thought a little bit more that if it could be something else or another, and I thought like Main Hoon Na came little close, but then I was like, no, this one wins.
दिल से आवाज आई थी अली के
Wow.
दिल से क्या कौन सी मूवी होगी वो
But
सिर्फ
is this
जब तक
because
है
you
जब
really like the movie or you really relate to it, or like what is the
No,
reason?
dude, why would I relate? I'm not in this situation.
I mean,
I mean heartbreak
nobody
and all
is.
has happened to everybody. Not everybody,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
still.
Okay, no, take heartbreaks maybe can relate, but anyway, I think it's so I mean this is not even a rom-com, right? It's like prom is very less. It's
Less.
more about just the romantic angle, the story, and how it
Yeah.
transpires and all of that. But and I like
heartache
yeah,
It's-
but it has a happy ending.
yeah that's true
Spoiler alert.
I think we should just stop with spoiler alerts in this podcast.
Yeah.
नहीं देखी तो तुम्हारी गलती है ये क्यों पढ़ने
Exactly.
सुनने आ रहे हो
Why are you
podcast?
listening if you have not watched the movie?
ट्रेलर देखो जाके. Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Ali.
Right. Anyway, so I think it's more of a romantic, tragic, a little bit, as Preeti said, but I think the script is really great. Obviously, story is there. Like, you don't watch this movie because you want to know what will happen at the end. You want to watch it because of the events that take place through the movie and like experience it for filmography or whatever, right? So I think, I mean, I didn't watch it in theaters. I don't know when I watched it for the first time, but I watched it a few more times. I don't know, definitely less than 3 or 4. But again, like very
Ali,
excited.
you
that
were
I-
what, like 10 when the movie came out?
I was just
Okay.
thinking,
Yeah,
this is like Ali ke bachpan ka movie.
I know, right?
Yeah. This was
you
Diwali.
were sorry Ali you were 10 oh my
No,
god
no,
no,
this is
नहीं
Diwali
याद है,
2012.
exaggerate
No?
कर रहा है,
So this
but-
is like 14. Yeah.
ये देख लो. That wasn't too far off.
wow
Yeah.
I feel very old
Maybe that is why like 14-year Ali को क्या मतलब था ये सबसे, right? There were many more action films coming out maybe. So, but anyway, I think I have enjoyed every bit of the film. maybe it's not like a comfort watch that you might want to watch every now and then, but I watched it a few times. And yesterday I was wondering ये लोग मैसेज डाल रहे थे, maybe वापस देख लूं इनके साथ. But anyway, that would have been too much. But anyway, I think let's hear it from you guys. How did you
No, you
like
have to
it?
give the plot summary.
Oh, I have to give a plot
Ali,
summary.
plot summary.
Okay.
As one of our loyal listeners, we would expect you to know this.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I was actually wondering कि whether I am missing out. What was the sequence? How simping moments कब आते हैं, review कब आता है, twist कब आता है. But
सब आएगा एक एक करके. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, let's begin with the plot. So I think movie starts with SRK in his in the present day, where he defuses a bomb, and the highlight is that he does that without a bomb jacket. That is the introduction. Then Anushka gets introduced, where she's sort of a 21-year-old, happy-go-lucky, very extroverted, sort of a woman. She jumps into a lake for a dare, just for some money. So that's like, her whole personality, that she's very adventurous.
Her whole personality is jumping into a
No, I mean, that tells
It's
you.
kind of
cold
is.
water.
I kind of
For
agree.
money. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then, she doesn't know swimming. So SRK is there, he saves her, and then, he puts on her his jacket and then goes away. And then, Anushka finds a diary in his jacket and she starts reading that. And like, we go back in time 10 years ago. SRK is in London. He's an immigrant doing menial jobs to survive. He meets Katrina, whose name is Meera, and she's from a rich family, business family. Anupam Kher is his father. Meera's identity, is more sort of, she believes in quid pro quo, that if you want something from God, you have to give something in return. And we see some examples of that as well. SRK's personality is very different from how he's shown in the initial minutes of the film. He's an artist, very talkative, very, again, extroverted, always seems to be happy and helping people around. He's also an artist. He sings and plays the guitar, and that's how, Meera and SRK, whose name is Samar, they end up, spending time together. Meera wants to learn a Punjabi song for her dad's birthday party. So, through we see many moments, they spend time together, etc. They fall in love. But then, Meera is already engaged to someone who is her dad's choice, and she doesn't want to betray her dad. So,
Was it a dad's choice though? Because
Yeah.
It was a dash.
It
yeah, it was a dad's choice. Yes. Sorry, my bad.
ध्यान से मूवी सुनो, देखा करो. सिर्फ गाने नहीं सुनने होते हैं. प्लॉट भी देखना होता है.
I feel offended so much by this.
हाँ, मतलब प्लॉट तो देखो, तुम घड़ियों पे टाइम देख रहे हो, ये तो पता होना चाहिए ना.
By the way, that घड़ियों वाला time was epic.
I know, right? कौन देखता है ये सब?
दो लोग और हैं जो देखते हैं. ट्विटर पे प्रूफ है इस बात का. Just by the way, guys.
उसने अपने बर्नर अकाउंट
But
से
yes,
वोट किया होगा.
हाँ, 2-3 अकाउंट से कही होगी. Yeah,
yes,
sorry.
Ali, go
Off
ahead.
track हो गया. Go ahead, Ali.
Yeah, sorry. So yeah, Meera also is in love with Samar, but she thinks that she doesn't want to betray her dad, so she makes a promise to Jesus with SRK by his side, saying that we wouldn't ever cross a line, and if we do, he can punish us. So that's their end. But then Meera's mom enters the picture, who had eventually essentially left her dad when Meera was 12 years old, and Meera has very negative energy about her. She doesn't like her because she left her dad just like that for someone else. So yeah, she has sent her wedding dress for Meera's wedding. Now she gets emotional a little bit, and she goes to Samar to talk about it, and then they visit her mom and his lover, who is played by Neetu Kapoor and Rishi Kapoor. And then she talks with her mom. She realizes she's not the evil figure she used to imagine. She just found love and went off with someone who she really loved. Then Meera decides to embrace her love and is ready to talk to her father about Samar, but then he meets in an accident, and she thinks it's because she crossed the line. And again, she asked for SRK's survival in lieu of never meeting him again, right? So that's her quid pro quo there. Summer survives, realizes what she has done, and then he's very angry and he decides to leave London for good. He goes to that same church, and where Meera has promised a lot of like this barters and quid pro quos, and he decides to take on Jesus by saying like either Jesus has to lose because he's going to put himself at risk every single day, uh, or his love will win of sort. So I think that's when interval happens. And then
That's
we
when interval happens. And it's such
uh,
I love that scene. Sorry, I'm
yeah,
butting you
yeah,
in
please.
and breaking your flow. But that scene, like, I think in this movie, God is the, like, how there is no villain per se, but he just goes and beat up with the God ki, अब तो या तो तुम्हारी जीत होगी या तो मेरी जीत होगी. Like, I find that really, I don't know, very poetic in so many ways also. Also, I'm a huge Yash Raj fan, so of course I have too many beeping of God with me in Yash Raj universe. So very nicely that
Yeah.
interval comes into picture. No boy, but a God. Sir
Yeah, and
Jesus, actually.
I also think like what she does, right, like giving up and all of that, it seems realistic. Like someone could do this in real life also, like the spiritual
I
or religious.
totally believe in
Right.
Katrina's character, okay? She is a high functioning 20. She's also 21-year-old, okay? In the movie when
Preeti,
it begins,
let's
like,
Ali complete the plot, no, as a discussion for
Preeti is
Tak Hai
like
Jaan.
just waiting for her moment कि
जल्दी से
कब
आए.
मैं इस मूवी की तारीफ करना शुरू कर सकती हूँ कब
Yeah. No
yeah,
worries.
okay,
Yeah. I
fine.
mean, monologue थोड़ी करना है इधर, but
नहीं,
anyway,
ठीक
so we
है.
reached interval, right? So I think after he leaves, we come back to the present, where uh, Anushka is essentially this again 21-year-old in the present time, and she's sort of on a gig with Discovery Channel, trying to find some big break in her career. She's very passionate about shooting films, etc., like that. So she decides to do this feature film on Samar, like on the man who cannot die, because he has defused so many bombs without a bomb jacket, and successful in all of them. So the military sort of agrees to it. They spend a lot of time. Initially, this SRK that we see is like very poker face. He is not talkative, keeps everything to himself. Doesn't mingle a lot. Apart from, I guess, when the bomb defusal process is going on. But yeah, he doesn't open up to Anushka so much, and Anushka is like again very this happy-go-lucky, extroverted, tries to make Summer talk a lot, and at some point he eventually like opens up to him, and he's also a little bit more cheerful. So yeah, they spend a lot of time. Anushka also sort of falls in love with him. She tells him very directly about this, and like I think in the movie, like Summer as like SRK as Summer takes it very in a more gentlemanly way, like doesn't tell her no or even yes, and like is very mature about it. Obviously, he is older, so
Which
he
they
would,
address, right? Like, even
yeah,
though like they address that he is older too. तो बोलता
Yeah,
भी
yeah,
उसको
yeah.
like I'm an old fashioned person.
He's like
yeah,
38
exactly.
no I mean in the
Yeah,
character in the movie was 38 by the time
yeah,
all of that was
38,
happening
Yeah.
so yeah
but she's
yeah,
21, so
yeah. But I think those lines about how he talks to her when she confesses and all of that are really thoughtful. It's not just
Yeah.
it's
like he
definitely not the
humors
first
her
draft.
also.
Yeah,
Like he humors her also, like the way he treats her around. He doesn't make fun of it, or he doesn't take it as an advance as well. So he's more sensitive to what her feelings are, is what
yeah.
I felt.
Yeah. So continuing from there, she finishes her film. She leaves him. She shows the film to her seniors, etc. They like it. Decide to feature it on Discovery Channel, etc. But then they say that Summer has to come to London once, because it's his first film or whatever, right? So initially he's a little bit uptight about it, and Anushka realizes why it could be difficult because he has to come back to this place where he left 10 years ago for good, right? But he does Trump, and then he gets into another accident. And then when he wakes up, he's essentially in sort of a situation where he has gone back to the accident that happened 10 years ago.
Retrograde amnesia.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the disease, or no, not disease, but whatever. His
Trauma.
illness, or trauma. Right. So the doctor, sort of thinks that it is best not to just tell him directly, like, at one go, like that you are essentially, like, you are not 10 years ago, you are today, and 10 years have passed between the accident that you are thinking. But so they try to bring together the people that he that were there at that point in time, which is essentially Meera, because before the accident is just when Meera had told him that I'm going to talk to my father about you. So Anushka goes, and a lot of characters come back. His roommate also, who is called Zen, who has now a full-fledged restaurant in London. So they come back, they try to put up a show for him. Meera essentially tells him that we are married and we have been living together since 10 years, etc., etc. So he tries to, I guess, there are moments where he has some, like, flashbacks or something, but he doesn't realize that, this is all a drama or whatever, right? And in this moment also, like, he's very, again, the SRK of, like, 10 years ago, very happy-go-lucky, etc. And, like, Anushka meets him for something, and Anushka sees this side of him where he's so talkative, so cheerful, spreading, like, happiness around people, or like dil jeetna, as his mom would say, right? So she realizes that this and the person that she met in military was, like, entirely different, right? But yeah, then I think eventually his memory comes back, and he realizes that Meera is putting up all of this drama, and then he confronts her, and then he just leaves her again, and then yeah, he comes back to, again, diffusing bombs. But then I think Meera realizes that like, some moments where Anushka had told him that you told like, you asked for his life, but he's not living, like, when he's not with you. So maybe, like, she suggests that your God is just telling you to that go be with him, right?
Just
So I think that's just
जी ले please.
the modern version of that, right? Yeah. So yeah, she essentially realizes that, and she comes back to him diffusing a bomb, and yeah, that's the end. And then they show Anushka's story, or the film, like, feature film that she did, is shown on the big screen or whatever, and that there's a monologue by her, etc. And that's where the film ends. So
I think
prepared for this.
मेरा record मेरा
Curtain to
summary का
curtain,
record
Ali
Ali
has
ने break कर दिया.
explained.
But Ali also had a longer, more detailed film to describe, and like, it's, I mean, 3 घंटे की movie थी यार, and there was a lot happening.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah, I mean, he has an accident twice.
yeah.
He has an accident twice, and like, उसका life ही restart होता रहता है, उसके बाद भी his life restarts. So I think it's, how do you address all of that?
Yeah.
He's just not the same person at this point and at this point. So
यार
you
अली
have
ने
to
बहुत
have
अच्छे से सुनाया
little-
यार, मतलब मैं I was
है ना,
engaged, मतलब मैंने
exactly.
कल ही मूवी देखी है, फिर भी मैं ऐसे ध्यान से सुन रही हूँ.
I know,
कैसे
right?
summary दे रहा है. इतने अच्छे से
मेरे को
narrate
तो
करा
नाम भी नहीं
उसने.
आता जैन का, इसको याद था उसका.
यार
Guys,
क्विज
I
पूछ सकता
prepared
था
for it.
Ali.
This was not on the spot. Okay, I have put efforts into this as a guest.
Prepare okay, Ali, of course.
Ali is setting standards for future guests.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's
I have to
also
point out,
telling
like,
us कि तुम तो प्रिपेयर करते नहीं हो, मैं करके आया हूँ.
yeah. अली ने मूवी ऐसे इज वॉच इट लाइक
You
होमवर्क,
guys
लाइक
are
हम लोग प्लान बना रहे कब देखेंगे. अली लाइक, मैं देख चुका हूँ, सुबह का टाइम था, मैंने देख ली है, तुम लोग देख लो.
No, yeah, I had to go somewhere, then I was confused. But anyway, I think Preeti told we should not talk about it.
Yeah.
तो
Of
उसकी बात
course.
सुनने की जरूरत नहीं है, तुम जो बोलना चाहते हो बोल सकते हो।
तुम्हें लगता है इस
ऐसा
पॉडकास्ट में प्रीति कितनी बात सुनते हैं?
This
I'm
is a We
sure.
Will Bully Preeti podcast. This is not
See,
Samar Anand
Preeti,
Sexy
it's always been
podcast.
a We Will Bully Preeti podcast. That's the sidetrack going on.
I think too much
अच्छा
sidetrack
ठीक
on
है
how we messed up the movie
हाँ
watching planning, but I think we should hear from you guys.
I think we should start with Preeti because मतलब वो ऐसे itch कर रही है ना बोलने के लिए।
अभी बोल
every
दूंगा.
few
I
minutes
could.
Sally is speaking, I can see her gasping for breath like she's about to start talking and then she's like नहीं interrupt नहीं करना चाहिए। तो Preeti go for
And
it।
like you can see like she disagrees. ऐसे तो नहीं हुआ. ऐसे तो नहीं हुआ था. ये तो गलत बोल रहा है ये. जा प्रीति अब तू बोल जो तेरे को बोलना है.
डिसएग्री की वो 10 साल से साथ में रह रहे थे, उनकी शादी को 5 साल हुए थे तो वो 5 साल से साथ में रह रहे थे। सॉरी, दैट्स व्हाट मेड मी random facts that I remember.
अरे तो शादी को
um
5 साल हुए थे ना. They have been
हाँ
dating for 10 years.
ठीक है, मतलब वो मतलब मूवी में
एकदम
they don't address it.
एकदम
That's
टेक्निकलिटी प्रीति. अरे तो मतलब 10 साल से साथ हैं. They've been together in relationship for 10 years. That's what the story was.
yeah.
But yeah, go
But
ahead.
I really love this movie this time. It came in 2012, so I was in college, so I was 20 year old, I think, and that was my phase when I was very anti Bollywood. Ki अब मैं कुछ नहीं देखूंगी Bollywood. I want to be cool and all that, you know. I want to tell my very fancy classmates that yeah, I also watch Hollywood and shit like that. So yeah, very
Such
much regret.
self-awareness.
uh, but I think I didn't enjoy it the first time I watched it in 2012 or 13 whenever I watched it on TV. But this time around उसके बाद मैंने नहीं भी देखे। मुझे बहुत मतलब I remember the plot ऊपर ऊपर से, didn't remember it as much in detail, but I believed in everything this time, like all the things that I questioned on my first viewing of the amnesia of Katrina's character, believing in like this whole giving up for God and all that in the century that we live in. I think initially it was very difficult for me as a 21-year-old person, but now as I go, like I have grown, I believe in everything like she has to say about like how her belief system, how she is. She's an NRI, she's lived in London. Her mother left her when she was 12. Her father is pretty modern but orthodoxy in its own way. Like maybe I'm reading too much into it, but the parties that happen or the birthday party that happen, they are in London, but all the guests that are shown are wearing Indian clothes, most of them. Apart from the Firangs that are there. She says she's a topper. She's always been a topper. She wants to please. Like she doesn't want to make the father be, you know, be hurting because of her or something because he's been in pain because of their mother, etc. And I get it. Like we've all been top performing people in our lives, or at least competitive. We all want to please our parents. So I think all of that, then finding way in God, in a spiritual way, how she does it, like she finds. I this time could not buy into her character trait. Like ऐसा एक बार भी नहीं लगा कि she's doing something which is out of character. So I think that's what made it more believable, and I related a lot more with when Akira said that, you know, today's generation has sex on first date and then they think if we want a relationship or not, blah blah blah. So I think that also felt little bit that yes, I also want the kind of love that, you know, like that's why she also falls for Samar, right? Because she's like, who loves in this manner in this century anymore? And every time she came on screen, I felt, yes, there is somebody who's speaking some sort of language that I understand, because I also grew up, like we grew up watching Shah Rukh Khan movies where love is all grandeur, people wait for decades, in jail, like in different part of countries, going through heartaches for years, but waiting for the love of their lives. And then it's not the reality. So I guess Yeah, I understand. I also want a Samar Anand in my life. Where is it? I don't know.
Catch a
But
boy or girl,
yeah.
everybody wants a Samar Anand in their life in some manner. It's very comforting presence to look at him.
So yes, loved it totally. I cried a bunch. Okay, I'm not sure if this was just the movie I'm TMSing, whatever it is, but I I was fully into it. Like मेरे को एक बार भी ऐसा नहीं लगा. Maybe I didn't like the doctor character a bit, but apart from that, like I
क्यों
was
भाई
खान
डॉक्टर
क्यों
कैरेक्टर में क्या खराबी थी?
डॉक्टर खान में क्या दिक्कत थी?
हाँ
पता नहीं मेरे को ऐसे लग रहा था ये क्या बातें कर रही है पता नहीं मेरे को मतलब पर्सनल ओपिनियन will not want to discuss it.
because
It's
she
not
didn't let
important.
Katrina
She
and
was she
Shahrukh.
was on screen for 2 minutes, possibly. Like I don't think she was on screen for more than 1.5 2 minutes. वही ना
No, I
शाहरुख
think
शाहरुख सर्जन.
हाँ
Yeah,
हाँ
yeah,
वही डॉक्टर खान वो बीच में
yeah.
मतलब I felt she was just a bit I don't know. हाँ.
Wait a second. Did you want more intimate scenes between Shahrukh and Katrina, and she had said no? That's
Ah, Ali
Good
has
catch,
cracked
Ali.
it. Ali has cracked it. ये उसको टी-शर्ट निकालनी थी तो क्यों मना कर रखा है तूने उसको?
No,
Got
that
it,
was
got it.
not the reason, but yes.
Okay.
On the intimate, but I think we can come back to it later. But yeah, I really enjoyed the movie, cried
Yeah.
bunch, loved the music, so many beautiful songs, such poetic. Like Challa Di Labda Fire, maybe when I heard it for the first time, I didn't get the meaning of that song. When I now hear it back and I re-listen to it, like yeah, it gives me goosebumps. Like Rahman music also. All the singers are great. Shah Rukh is amazing, obviously. So
Cool.
yes, all
Preeti, I
in
think
all,
let's hear
love
what
the
हाँ
Diksha
movie.
has
प्रीति
to
हो
say. I
गया
think
मतलब
she's dying.
तुम
She's dying to say something. प्रीति ने
तुम्हारा
पूरा अपना एक ही बार में
पूरा
बोल देना है.
एपिसोड
Music भी.
should we just call this the Preeti show like
Yes,
प्रीति
Diksha,
from
go
the
ahead.
lens of
But
जब तक है
wait a
जान.
second. I have to. Did you watch it in theaters?
No, I didn't.
I
Who
think
did?
Preeti was like
Ali
I,
did.
no, I didn't.
अच्छा. You also didn't. Diksha तो didn't. Sure,
no
I
I
think.
didn't
Diggy did, no?
I
Diggy has watched all movies after
मैं सब
2010
by
and
default मैं सारी movies theater में देखता
उसमें
हूँ उसके.
क्वेश्चन आता है कि फर्स्ट डे था या लास्ट सेकंड डे था.
नहीं, first day तो नहीं होगा. I was in college then, which was in South Delhi, and मैं गया था North Delhi या North West Delhi, वो रोहिणी पंजाबी बाग एरिया जहाँ पे Delhi people know this. It's quite far away. But I don't know, उस टाइम वो टिकट वो सस्ती मिल रही थी मेट्रो से. We could reach, and my friend had a house there. हम 6 लोग गए थे, one of whom was also a big Shahrukh. मेरा भी I have a picture from that like theater also. हमने खींची थी. It's about I don't know for 12 years back. But हाँ, like मैं तो theater में ही देखनी थी. And but I want to hear what Diksha felt there first, and then I'll give my thoughts.
yeah मैंने पहली बार देखी कल and I'm
Oh
actually
shit,
really
really?
glad
You haven't seen it ever?
no I hadn't seen it ever and I'm actually
Oh, this
really
was
glad
after
that I
Rama.
hadn't seen it ever
Okay.
yeah after
And
Ravan but more than that I wanted to watch it in theaters when it came out because it was Yash Chopra's last film and everything I remember that but मैं 12th में थी और मैं बहुत पढ़ाई में busy थी उस समय तो मतलब मूवी देखने वगैरह के लिए तो टाइम कभी नहीं निकाला and I think my parents were not inclined so उस टाइम पे मतलब didn't really have agency to go out and watch movies on my own with friends and all school के बीच में not as much at least so yeah I don't think I ended up watching it in the duration since it's come out also but I'm glad I watched it when I did because I think 10 साल पहले मैंने मूवी देखी होती तो मुझे नहीं पसंद आती and again like kind of because what Preeti said right like you're in that mental state little bit of teenage angst you don't want to I don't know seem uncool to your peer group and just stuff like that I guess I might not have liked it at the time but I really enjoyed it and I think personally I think why it might not have worked in 2012 I mean I know it was a hit and everything but it didn't make a lot of money compared to what Shah Rukh movies ideally make it barely I think made its budget back in India in terms of box office earnings and I think that's because maybe this movie released 10 years too late you know I think if it came out in 2002 it would have been much more commercially successful much more commercially accepted because it's a very old school romance right like just the kind of what Preeti said right you don't see a lover like Samar Anand today like he loves unconditionally he loves so like passionately 10 साल तक इंतजार किया like that is not a trope that you see in cinema today And that is a trope that you used to see a lot in like early 2000s. And it was more believable maybe back then than by the time 2012 came around, your romances were more like Band Baja Bharat or something, right? I'm just giving one random example that I can think of. It's more contemporary, more like immediate, more our generation. Like, you need that instant gratification. People don't want to wait for things. And that's why I think it maybe did not click as much with people when it came out. But I think if you're a Bollywood fan and like you enjoy those old school, old fashioned romances, then you should definitely check out this movie because it has that charm, it really has that Yash Chopra charm to it. Like, I know it's long, I felt it dragged on a little bit. It's not like a 5-star watch for me for sure, but yeah, I think the storyline was super believable. Everything Preeti said, I echo. Only thing maybe I didn't like was Akira's character was way too way too millennial, like
Extra.
not millennial, way too extra, yeah. For me, like it felt like she's just embodying every single I don't know, that trope of the new generation that exists. Like, मैं फर्स्ट डेट पे सेक्स करूंगी, मैं तो दुनिया भर का बबलीनेस मेरे अंदर ही भरा हुआ है, मैं हर किसी से जाके बात करूंगी. Like, I'm in a camp full of jawans, like all men, and I'm gonna wear like whatever I want and dance around. Like, it was a little too much to take. And like I think it's also intentional, right? Like in movies you need that, you need that much of characterization for people to understand ki this is the type of person that we are
Yeah.
thinking about. Like, so yeah, fine. I mean, it's just nitpicking, but that was maybe my one thing. But I thought like really good performance by Katrina Kaif. I don't know, I was reading some older reviews and stuff, and critics did not seem to like it, but I thought she did a pretty good job. Like, I think she gets a lot of flack for her acting ability, but अच्छा था उसका काम इसमें, मतलब believable था. Shah Rukh, of course, was, oh my God, just amazing, incredible.
Too
Like,
good.
he's just like in that epitome of, being that fully supportive, unconditionally loving, forever, like intense romantic wala role. I loved him as Major Samar Anand, and I really liked him as like just London blue collar Samar Anand. So yeah.
Yeah, I think matlab, I kind of agree with like similar to Preeti in the sense difference between first and second watch. I didn't dislike it at the first time. I liked it. मुझे तो अच्छी लगी थी. I bought into the love mostly. थोड़ा the spiritual aspect of it is I feel that if you are a person of faith, you try and you understand her point of view a little better. If you are, as we were at that point in school, like Ali, or college like us, so you're in some ways struggling with notions of religion, faith, spirituality, which you've been growing up with in your household. So that kind of I kind of disagree with that a little bit, but like go into the cinema willing to believe in what the people are trying to tell me. मतलब तो अगर वो बोल रहे हैं कि वो ऐसा होता है तो मैं मान लूंगा. And मेरे को तो अच्छी लगी थी. But this time I really enjoyed it. Like, because obviously you look at all the little things as well. Again, Anushka, I didn't feel so. She got an Oscar. Not an Oscar. she got a best supporting actress का film fare मिला था. I don't think she deserved it as much as Katrina did. Because
I agree.
this is Katrina's niche यार. वो
But I think that might have been
इतना
because
फोड़ा था उसने.
I think that might have been because Katrina was not a supporting actor in this. No, she was a main actor. Anushka was supporting.
Probably.
Maybe that's why. If they were in the same category,
Maybe.
then I would have argued that Katrina did a better portrayal of her character.
True. Maybe best actress के हिसाब से there was probably someone better in
Yeah.
that 2012. Yeah. So I think मतलब and it did do well. Like it's declared a hit. It did about 120 crores on a budget of 70 crores. That's only domestic.
And that was
And
after 2 weeks,
like
na? That's not what you would expect for a Shah Rukh film. Like, Shah Rukh films get declared a hit within the first weekend. So from that point of view, I said it was not like a massive hit. It was an okay hit.
but I'm looking at the
ये
footfalls
मसाला
also.
मूवी नहीं
तब भी
था ना.
ठीक है यार. मतलब My Name is Khan से ज्यादा footfall है इसके. तो ठीक है. But also depends on like कितने scale पे release हुई थी, all of that. But yeah, I have all of this data like at a click now. Invested time in all of trying to notify this. But and मेरे को तो like all these stories which tell like long and winded tales of romance, I buy into it. Like वो millennial romance में मैं समझता भी नहीं है. Like no millennial नहीं, Gen Z romance or whatever you call it. कि अभी डेट किया फिर 6 महीने छोड़ दिया तो I have never experienced that. मुझे I can't even relate to it. this is something that more that I kind of understand. कि हाँ ऐसे ही होता है. This is what it's supposed to happen. And it was very sort of like I bought into the Yash Chopra's idea of love basically. If this is what love, I agree with you. This is the idea of love. Shahrukh is justified and Katrina also justified in her own end, dealing with her spirituality. But overall, I think it's a very good movie. Yeah. I think pretty good movie. And obviously, yes, there are better movies, but this was still pretty good.
I have a question for you guys. Did you
Yeah.
prefer clean shaven Shahrukh or stubble Shahrukh? And there is only one correct answer.
Stubble totally. But I want to hear Preeti's passionate speech about why stubble over clean shaven.
मतलब मेरे को शाहरुख हम हर चीज में अच्छा लगता है गाइस लाइक वो शेव कर ले या वो स्टबल रखे मतलब but Shahrukh Khan wearing Ray-Bans in Fauji clothes walking around on those montage in Leh, oh my god, he is so good. Like वो एकदम melancholy वो डायरी
He's
में बॉम्ब
gorgeous.
नंबर लिख रहा है
Yeah.
like वो
He's a
and
man written
also
by a
the
woman.
he is just a man. I don't know if there is a god that I believe in. He is written by whatever, I don't know.
But I
That
think
is
like
my
the music is also great, like in moments where he's riding that bike and
Yeah,
I think
I
the
love the
back-
background
it's just
score.
so
score.
great music.
There was one point in the film where I thought the background score just elevated the scene was when Shah Rukh Khan met his accident for the first time, and like Meera gets down on her knees and she starts praying, and she says that like please let him survive and I'll never meet him again. And then he survives and they put him in the
then it
ambulance,
dawns
and then
on her.
yeah, and it dawns on her, and एक तो her expression just changes कि oh shit, ये मैंने क्या कर दिया. And the music,
Yeah.
it just like it was so good for the scene. Like I at that point of time, I was like, is this what Preeti feels like when she watches movies? Like music elevating the experience. I felt it. I was like, wow, that was so good. Like I
that
felt
scene
that
was
oh fuck
too
in
difficult.
like
Yeah,
my
yeah.
bones. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that
think I
scene
have a
was just,
difference
I
of
think,
opinion, but not for the music, but in like for the Katrina acting love
you don't like
that
her
all of
acting?
you have. Like there are certain scenes where she is really good, and at the same time, I can think of many actors who would have done it. Like I think some bit of the music elevating the scenes were required in the movie because see, Katrina has a very straight face kind of acting school behavior, and sometimes I think like in some
Yeah.
scenes I felt कि थोड़ा और हो सकता था अगर कोई और actor होती तो maybe
Yeah,
I
I
was
think
thinking of
we're
Arani
not
or a
saying that she
Katrina
did a perfect
Kajal.
job. Okay,
Yeah.
nobody could have done
Yeah.
it better.
Yeah.
Like it's just her. But she still did
She's
a
not
good
as
job. And
bad
also,
as people say she is.
yeah,
Is what
we're
my
also comparing
opinion
it
is.
to the criticism she got or the
Yeah.
flag that she gets and her other roles. So if you compare Katrina's filmography, this
she's
probably
gotten
ranks.
better. Yeah.
This probably ranks. So Namaste London is by far the best. मेरे हिसाब से nothing comes close. उसके बाद I think I would take Jab
I
Tak
would
Hai
say
Jaan.
Merry Christmas
Nobody
seeing
else.
the recent
Yeah.
ones, but
Yeah,
True.
Christmas she was
no.
great.
Recently, she was
Haan.
quite good there also. These three movies, I think. But point is, yes, my own statement underlines the fact that she's not really a very good actor.
Yeah.
Because तीन चार
I think
movie मिल
that's
रही है.
exactly, I agree. कि मतलब it's not that she did an outstanding job, but all I'm saying is she
Yeah.
gets a lot of flack for her acting ability,
Yeah,
which I
agreed,
felt in this
agreed.
movie was not so deserved. Like she did a good job of the role that was given to her. And Meera is kind of matlab straight-faced and
Yeah.
like unemotional.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
not
don't think her
unemotional, but
character
like
is
repressed,
that.
right?
unexpressive.
She's
Yeah.
repressed. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
repressed.
Yeah, yeah.
Her personality is repressed. वही तो बोलता है कि I want to take out that Meera out in the open.
Tina,
Manic
Her
Raj
Pixie
and
character
Dream
is
Tina.
not
Boy.
having emotion.
Meera से Tina. So,
मेरा नाम राज मतलब I meant कि the music elevates the scenes a lot more in Katrina's presence. That's why like I felt whatever I felt about
Because
some
वो
of
उसके
her
bike scene
scenes.
में भी that like what Ali said, that also I
Yeah.
really liked कि जब वो bike चला रहा होता है और background में वो मतलब धुन सी बज रही होती है, that was really cool.
I think even that. Sorry, this is when he's clean shaven, but when they go to meet her mom, और वो जो highway वाला scene आता है ना, like for some I think 15
बाइक
seconds
में
जो भी वो
चलाता है
bike
वो
पे
हाँ
चला रहा है, and that music also is like वो भी same beats ही है, but it's like sort of a happy
yeah.
tune-ish. versus the other one where they play it more sort of in a sadder way. But
I
yeah, I
think
think
somebody should have or should do it just a montage of SRK on bikes from Jab Tak Hai Jaan. Bas.
Netflix. अच्छा
I'm
सारे
sure
scenes,
that
only
exists.
जब तक
सारे
है
scenes.
जान.
I'm sure
Yeah,
वो already
हाँ.
exist
this
करता
can be
होगा.
your next Twitter. हाँ, but just जब तक है का कोई एक song लगा दो, maybe the title track, and just all his scenes.
यार आई एम
It's
श्योर यूट्यूब पे होगा कहीं तो.
I
वो
would say
उसी ने तो
it's
Netflix खुद
मेहनत
ही
more
किया
बना
होगा.
होगा
रहा है.
ये.
मतलब like Netflix and Prime. Also, this is on Prime. We didn't tell. I don't think we
Oh yeah,
mentioned
no, we
that,
didn't.
but
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
this
this
streaming
we
it's
on
on
didn't.
Amazon
We
Prime
always
Prime.
forget.
in India.
Yeah.
We always,
in
on Prime
No,
India.
this I'm
you have
mentioning
foreign
because
listeners?
yes, of course.
Yeah, अरे of
A
course क्या
lot,
बात कर रहा है? I
actually.
show you the map. हमारे पूरे world पे red spots आते हैं.
जिस तरह शाहरुख के NRI फैंस है वैसे हमारे भी NRI फैंस है
हमारे
guys.
भी NRI fans हैं. London, New York, Germany, and Singapore and whatnot. Australia as well, please.
Couple of my friends who
Everywhere.
are following along to the podcast, like one of them wanted to watch Bazigar last weekend, and she ended up watching it on a really bad YouTube print because it's not available anywhere else. She's telling me about this, and I was like, "Wow, we are inspiring people to rewatch Shahrukh
Yeah, dude, my
filmography with us."
mom's like, I want to watch this movie again. इतनी अच्छी कैसे है मुझे जानना है. मैं कहा, देखो देखो. That is the whole point of this podcast. Everybody should watch Shark movies. Yeah.
Also, one thing I wanted to add that even in this movie, I felt Shah Rukh does this whole two personalities, like
Yeah.
something of that representation that you're not just one person. Like he's very like the Samar Anand of London versus the Samar Anand in Army are two different people, and it's
Yeah,
it's sort of said also in so beautiful. Like there is this scene where he doesn't remember his memory, clean shaven Shah Rukh. 10 years later, still looking as good. वो उसको रिकॉर्ड कर रही होती है and then he just says कि मेरे को ना बॉम्ब से बहुत डर लगता था.
Yeah.
yeah.
Bombs
And
और
those,
guns है. Yeah.
and हाँ, और मैंने अपनी मम्मी को कभी बताया नहीं. और वो शुरू में दे also से कि जो दिल जीत लेते हैं वो something कुछ there's this dialogue. So it's like he's too like the difference of one person, like it's like almost he's playing two people in
He
the
did
movie
a
as well.
yeah, he did a really good job of showing that dead inside personality, right? Like
Yeah.
I mean, he's so full of life, and then when Meera is away from him, that life leaves him. Like that transition was really well done.
He has acted like he has put in effort. ठीक है मतलब पूरे
Let me just make this
every
very clear. He always puts in
Always,
effort.
I know, मैं वही बोलने
अब
वाली
अगर
थी
आप
अभी.
ध्यान से देखो ना शाहरुख खान की मूवी, he always puts in effort. Like पता नहीं लोग क्यों कहते हैं अच्छी एक्टिंग नहीं कर सकता या करता. Like and now I'm seeing it. Now I'm comparing him to Amir Khan. सलमान खान तो छोड़ो. Like all other
उसको.
good actors, all other good actors that we call. उस time पे Amir Khan was being considered critically the best star, right?
Mr. Perfectionist
ऐसा
and all that.
हाँ, he's definitely that par यार. बहुत अच्छी एक्टिंग करता है वो.
Yeah,
वो तो
yeah.
because इतना बड़ा स्टार है, you miss out on the fact that he's actually a good actor.
I would argue he's
But,
better.
yeah.
I might be biased, but
Yeah,
Better?
same. I also
I mean,
would agree
yeah,
that he's
I don't want to say
better.
that,
So,
but he's
मतलब
हाँ, I
the
don't
way
think
he
there's comparison
says
there.
it, yeah, like it's just, मतलब there's certain eye movements, like it's just sadness and anger together. Like there are a couple of scenes when she comes back, like just bringing back to the Katrina Shah Rukh breakup scene from the first accident,
Mhm.
where she actually goes to tell him, um,
oh, the
where he
anger
just
on his face.
Yeah.
Oh
His
my
eyes
God.
tell everything.
there is sadness and it just becomes into anger and there's a heartbreak. Like you can just, oh my God, I was scared, I was sad. It was just, oof, so
So
beautiful.
I was thinking about this, and I keep debating in my own head: is he better at romance or is he better at anger, like evil anger roles? But I think he's just
better at both.
no, I mean
No
At
discussion.
everything. Listen,
अरे
guys, he's
amongst
better at
himself,
everything.
not externally. It is SRK versus SRK. That is the only battle he's fighting, and we are debating, right? So I think what I realized was it's expressing love. That is his forte. It could be through a romantic lens of DDLC, or it could be a crazy psychopathic lens of Dar or Bazigar to nahi, but mostly Dar and Anjam. Or it could be this angry lover in Jab Tak Hai Jaan, I don't know, who has a grudge sort of
Intense
against God.
lover. Yeah.
Intense. It's
मतलब
whenever
intensity
is
is,
whenever is that love is directed at someone, जो भी type of love है, he does that, like, and he does it insanely well. So I think he's a romance overarching theme across different emotions. SRK nails it, completely nails it. There's really no
हाँ
comparison there.
मतलब यार मतलब I get it also. जिस इंसान ने 10 साल से किसी का like कितना प्यार किया हो किसी को, उसको इंटेंसिटी होगी. And when he says कि in the church scene as well, back when she comes in wearing her mom's gifted sari in the church for the second shadi,
Yeah.
etc. There also तुमने मजाक उड़ मतलब जो भी है क्या मेमोरी भी क्या चीज है, किसी चीज को कितना बुलाने की कोशिश, और दैट एंड ही सेज इट, देयर सो मच purity and intensity and anger, all of that in it. It just moves me, like it moves me a lot. Like I think nobody can ever even imitate or try to imitate it 1% bit. So like yeah, whoever says Shah Rukh Khan act like they can just sorry but fuck themselves.
Oh, shit.
But I think about when Preeti, you said no, he plays these two different roles. So but you also see that in there's only this one scene where Anushka sneaks up on him, and like they say that he needs some me time every now and then, and you see that he has like bottled up all of his
Yeah, that was
emotions or whatever, and
that was
then
a
he
good
usually
catch.
there's just one scene that right like where he's
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
मैं
singing.
I
again
was crying. चल्ला जी लव जा फिर से गा रहा है वो अकेले अकेले, and she's just trying to catch him up. It's so beautiful. Oh.
Actually, now that you mention it, it's like, kind of symbolizing that he still has a little bit of life, a little bit of hope left in him,
yeah
in spite of, the kind of image that he's projecting outside. I want to point out like
Hope is
one,
there. I think the hope is always there. Meera will come. That is what he's striving for. Either I die or she comes back to me.
but
That
that
hope is
hope,
always there.
yeah, and
But
that
the
hope is the
life
part
isn't
of
there,
him
kid.
that's still alive. Like
Yeah,
that hope
yeah,
is
yeah,
what's keeping him alive, is what
yeah.
I think that scene brings out really well.
True. Yeah.
I wanted to point out like one thing in the movie that I really liked is that Shah Rukh Khan gives the stage to the women in the movie, right? Like it's a movie about Samar, right? Like the end to end, if you think about it, the movie is the story of Samar Anand, but the first half was just a Katrina show. Like he's there, but it's about her. Like, and it's his story that Anushka is reading, right? And he has written the story about her from her perspective. Like, this is what she went through.
Yeah.
This is what she did. Like, even though he is writing it, it's all about her. And even in the second half, like in spite of maybe at least up till the point where he has the accident, I felt like a lot of it was just about Akira. Like it was about, she wants to do this. She's falling in love with him. She wants to get a job at Discovery Channel, and she's like willing to risk her life, and she's doing all these things, dangling off of bridges and recording videos and stuff. Like, I mean, yeah, obviously Shah Rukh Khan is also doing it, but he's a major in the army. Like it's his job to do it, right? He's like, she is risking everything, and you see that ambition of hers that's coming out, and like Shah Rukh gives them that space. Like he never imposes his presence in any of those scenes. Like he's just there, and I think that's just what I love most about him in like a lot of these, in most of these movies, right? He's just there. Like he's so unconditionally there as like in his roles as a love interest, that like, yeah, I just love that.
one very like
Yeah,
sorry.
go ahead, Ali.
Yeah, तो मैं बोल रहा था कि एक like this one scene, it's not like anything like simping or something, but that one moment where Anushka makes him smile for the first time, where she says कि मैं तो कसम वसम नहीं खाती. So there is no, I mean, could have like in real life you could think that statement could trigger someone also. Like, I mean,
And he
it's
just
not,
smiles, like he's just
yeah,
like वो
he just
छोड़ के नहीं
smiled.
जाएगी.
Yeah. And he laughs. Like they laugh about it.
Yeah.
Chalo, theek hai. It's very cute sort of
Yeah.
scene. Because by that time he's really opened up to her, na? And that moment is when he opens up. Like uske ekdam pehle.
Yeah, exactly. Preeti,
I mean,
you were saying?
yeah, I was saying that like when we were watching, I think Diksha message ki in Ishq Shava, Katrina is the like he is the main focus.
Oh, I was talking about the dance
And
before that, like not the Ishq Shava,
like
but
the
like
the whole the music, the whatever freestyle
underground
Club
music.
dance.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think like it needs somebody like a secure actor or a secure person, lover, even in that scene. They don't show Shah Rukh as a very good dancer at any point in the movie. He's just
Yeah.
so much in ease. He just wants her to have her space, that And even in all that, he's just confident that इस सब के बाद भी, I'll be the only one who look in your eyes and take your heart away. तुम्हारा दिल चुरा के ले जाएगा, तुम्हारी धड़कन रुक के आंखों में आंखें डाल के जो भी. He doesn't need to take space because he's in anyway in their hearts. So yes, like I have too many nice things to say about this movie. Clearly,
On that note, maybe we should talk about our simp moments, unless anybody has anything else about the film that they want to share that doesn't involve Shah Rukh Khan and how amazing he is.
No. होगा तो निकल जाएगा इन moments में. But let's go, guys.
I think
Ali,
Ali
you
should
wanna
go first.
yeah, let's
Okay.
Ali take a first stab
Yeah.
at it.
So, I mean, throughout the movie, when I was watching, I was constantly conscious that I have to keep one simp moment in mind. So, उसके बाद भी I think I like the entire movie is simp moments for me. But if I were to just cherry pick one or two, and this is just what I can remember. So I think one is where that, like I said earlier, that bike scene where they both are shown on the lush green countryside, growing. Although there are both of them in that scene. So that's just like where it's a nice scene. But I think apart from that, like at the end where where he has his memory back and he's going back, and Anushka meets him at the airport, right? And he tells her that अगर
मेरी
मैं
तरह मत
एक
बनना.
एक चीज
Oh, no.
No, that is fine. But अगर एक चीज
अगला जन्म.
मांगूंगा तो अगला जन्म ताकि तुझसे प्यार कर
Yeah.
सकूं. I think that was
Yeah.
a brilliant line. Although I mean he might have not written that, but still he delivered that in the most nicest or best way possible. So I think these are two things that I can definitely think of.
Yeah, man. I'll go next
Diggy.
before my same moment is taken. So we've seen Samar Anand, right, throughout his that persona. It's either completely intense or just focused on defusing bombs, stoic person, and then he sort of becomes friendly with Anushka. But the first time you see love on his face, and that is my same moment, is also because how Shah Rukh depicts is. It's absolutely at the end. And well, I think Katrina, when she comes back and he chases कि मुझे like ये वक्त चाहिए था तुम्हारे पास वापस आने के लिए, and realizing that I love you and I can't stay without you. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what she says. And his expression completely changes. यहीं से थोड़ी देर पहले नहीं तुम्हें ऐसा लग सकता था. Oh my God, मेरे को तो almost आंसू आ गया. I'm like shit, like because he is also suffering. Right? He's like 10 साल काट लिए मैंने चीज, सुनने के लिए. Could you not have done this previous पहले थोड़ा? I would
I
have
think
had
that
like
that
all those
scene,
years come back.
yeah, I think that
Yeah.
scene also shows that that's when he realizes that I've diffused so many bombs and I was really afraid in all of that. You should have come sooner.
Could be. But oh my God, like that really struck me. Like but हाँ, that expression change. If you watch that scene again, something flashes on his face. And that's just yeah. And that's also a relief. There's a lot of relief and there's some sadness and a lot of love. Or extra somehow he can depict it. I don't know how, but it was insane. And that was my same moment.
Diggy. Sorry,
Yeah.
Diksha.
Okay. Okay,
I think actually, weirdly for me, I couldn't think of a simp moment. We were like Ali and I were discussing earlier, and matlab, because Shah Rukh was just so good in every scene of the film. Like if I have to pick one, it's so hard. And I don't know if you guys noticed this, but most of the time he wasn't looking directly into the camera. He was always looking at either Meera or Akira or the bomb that he's refusing. Like, and that intensity, in spite of him not looking at the camera, it's just always there. Like you can still see it on his face, right? And so honestly, if I have to pick, then I'll say like maybe the bomb diffusing scenes, because he's just so much concentration and like there's no fear on his face in spite of what he said कि मतलब मेरे को तो bomb से बहुत डर लगता है, but he's just like उसका resolution इतना strong है कि मतलब वो काफी I don't know, I think just acting appreciation I'll say for simp moment because मतलब
That's fair.
So, Preeti,
Yeah, it's like I don't want to choose one. As she says, it's very difficult to choose one. I never choose one. You will see, I always end
tell
up taking
three.
so
Tell
many
your
simp
top three.
moments. My top three, okay. One has to be when he's back in London and Anushka is shooting him, and then he just said, "Have you met my wife?" And he's just so in praise of her, and he's just telling so much made for each other, and he's just like the love in his eyes is very, very beautiful. Like it's just so much. And then he comes to London, and वो जो hat है उसका, like with that hat that Akira had given to him, and he comes to London wearing that hat, and he just they like a hat tip he does, and he just smiles when she is there, and I found it very, very, very cute. And the last one would be the one, then the last bomb diffusing, in which when he says कि इस बार कोई दुआ मत मांगना, and then he just goes and come back. It's like, oh, my heart was like, oh, so much asus were dropped. So yes, that was
Yeah.
that's all for me
I
for
think
now.
it's a movie you really, really like it in the second watch. I think मेरे को तो ये definitely ऐसा लगा कि somehow you appreciate it more. Also because second watch you're older. Regardless.
Brings
I
us
think
to
that's
the
the main
question:
point.
would you rewatch, and what would your rating be?
Man, acha.
Tiki, go
Ali,
first.
you wanna take a... Oh, I'm going first. Acha. So here's the thing. It's not a comfort watch. It's not like I watched Dilwale, Chennai Express, Happy New Year a lot of times. ऐसी बस चलो देख लिया मजा आ रहा है. जब तक ये जान makes you slightly uncomfortable. It makes me uncomfortable. Like it's a very strong romance, but there's a lot of hardship there. तो मतलब ऐसे comfort watch नहीं है. But I will definitely watch it again. थोड़ा time निकल जाएगा. I will definitely watch it, but it's not a movie I will continuously rewatch just because I need SRUK movies for comfort watching. That's what they're rewatching. Without Shahrukh, I don't think it's still a strong movie. So it might be. But Samar Anand, I can't imagine anybody else there playing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Nor could Yash Chopra.
rating, yeah. Rating, I think, oh God, this is tough. Maybe 3.75. Yeah, somewhere around that.
Yeah, I think for me similar.
3.75, yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
probably give it 3.5. Not a movie I'd rewatch essay regularly, but maybe after 5-6 years, I wouldn't mind watching it again. I think a lot of the plot, or like at least the tropes, felt a little borrowed from other Yash Chopra films, which I would rather rewatch. So, like Veer Zara, for example.
Yeah.
Which incidentally I haven't rewatched as much, but anyway, 3.5, I think. And yeah, I would probably watch it once if it was someone other than Shahrukh, but I also can't imagine anyone other than Shahrukh playing Samar Anand.
Okay, Preeti, I'll go last.
Oh, you'll go last. I think everybody now knows that I will not rewatch it. Very difficult for me to imagine. And Yash Chopra, I think even Yash Chopra hasn't directed a movie without Shah Rukh in his later in director whatever, sorry, movies. Will not watch it. 4.5 would be my rating. 4.5. 4 for the movie, 0.5 extra for the songs. Yes.
Songs are damn good.
Yeah.
Songs are damn good. Yeah, I almost wanted to give it 4 also, but I realized I gave fan 4 and I definitely like fan more than this. We should just
Yeah,
store
by
our
the way, I
ratings
also
somewhere so I
liked
can
Fan.
compare things. Yeah.
Only slightly digressing, but I also liked Fan. I don't know why it
That was
was
a
a
good
flop,
movie.
but
Good, yeah. It's a movie deserving of a lot of praise.
I watched it in theaters also, Fan. But anyway, coming
same,
to this,
same.
so देखो मैं तो biased, I picked this movie. I'll give it 3,000,
Oh.
borrowing from Avengers,
I love you,
the
3000.
reference. Yeah.
Yes, Ali. We are all
I
there
agree,
tuned
it's not a
into.
comfort watch. Obviously, you might not want to rewatch every 6 months. I'll also not watch every now and then, but
Yeah.
yeah, it is. I mean, top movies of SRK for me, or even top movies in general. Like, forget the actor. And
High
I don't know
praise.
if there was no SRK, I think I would have watched it. But I don't think there's any other one. Any other would be as good as.
Matlab, I think Yash Chopra and Aditya Chopra wrote Samar Anand with SRK in mind, right?
Yeah.
Obviously he was going to play it. Nobody else was going to play it. तो उन्होंने लिखा ही पूरा वो सोच के
हाँ,
कि शाहरुख ही
yeah.
करेगा सिर्फ.
हमने
Yeah, I was
इस
going to
बार
talk
ही
about this.
फिल्म के बारे में इतनी बात कर ली, प्लॉट के बारे में इतना बात कर लिया that we didn't even like touch upon the cinematography, writing, direction, nothing. We were just like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Cinematography, but was
great.
so beautiful,
Yeah.
so great. Very Yash
Beautiful is
Chopra.
the word for it. It's so
Yeah,
beautiful. Oh
yeah.
my God.
Every frame is beautiful. Every frame has a thought behind it. Like
So Yash
only Yash
nobody
Chopra
can do
Chopra.
it like Yash
really
Only
Chopra.
knew,
Yash
Yeah.
Chopra.
he really knew how to do this. Matlab, make it just so good.
So sorry, I know we have a quiz to go, but just want to mention because this is his last movie, the montage of Yash
Yash
Chopra's
Chopra.
Oh,
like on the
that's
Then,
title track.
really
Oh my
emotional.
God, मैं तो रो रही थी यार. Like even though I don't know this man at all, but I like it's just so beautiful done. What a yeah,
He was like a
what a beautiful
grandpa on
montage
set,
to
yaar.
end this
Matlab,
day.
with his
Ah,
grandkids,
so
so
cute.
cute.
Yes. Okay. Now I think we should head to the quiz, which is made by Ali.
Yes.
yes.
So मेरे पास बहुत questions, but I'll limit to
ठीक है
maybe
यार,
some
बहुत
interesting
time है हमारे
ones.
पास.
No, let's see how it goes. So I think we'll stick to 5. There's one question that I had even before before I had watched the movie because I knew
Okay.
about this. And it's also not something that I found it very easy to on Google or something. But so that one will be the last as a showstopper. But
स्ट्रक्चर करके है अपना
let's
क्विज
see.
ये. मैं पॉडकास्ट के टाइम पे क्वेश्चन गूगल कर रहा होता हूँ. Nice. Go ahead,
That's
Ali.
my passion for this podcast. No.
Yes.
Nice.
Anyway.
Quiz master.
Quiz master, Ali.
Let's go.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, so these are very simple trivia questions only. Okay, so let's begin with the first one. So, as far as I can tell, Shah Rukh was shown doing 4 jobs in London. The initial time, snow clearing, the first scene, when
Yeah.
he works at the restaurant as a waiter, and then when he
Yeah.
works at the fish market. Okay, so
Yeah.
these are the 3. What was the 4th?
He's in the
Oh.
army.
अबे,
नहीं
No,
भाई,
no,
लंदन
in
में.
London.
Fish
He's
market, waiter,
fish
snow
man.
shoveling.
is teaching getting a job?
He's a singer. He's a
No,
singer.
no,
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 he's
no, no,
singing.
no.
That's
Those
so
are not
अच्छा.
like jobs. I mean,
Soup kitchen. He
Singer तो उसका
serves
job नहीं है.
he serves soup to people, but
no,
that's
that's
like
not a job.
volunteering. That's not job.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought this would have been easy.
Damn
No,
it.
wait. Let me think about this. You're introduced to him when he's
I knew this was a
singing, then
question.
no,
Okay,
wait.
I'll give a hint. It was in
Wait,
the
we can
song
talk amongst ourselves now. हाँ,
इसमें
it was a
चला
song.
चला तो लपचा करे भी
Challa
सारे
song.
आते हैं ना.
Yeah.
हाँ, चला song
Only
में सारे
Challa
आते
song.
हैं.
This is not shown anywhere. Only in that one song, it's shown some moments.
It's Challa, by the way, not Challa.
Challa. Sorry. Yeah.
Challa.
नहीं मालूम यार मेरे
Just,
को तो.
but
just that Punjabi correction
fish
कर दूँ तुम लोगों की.
market,
अच्छा, तो it's
waiting,
हाँ, मतलब वो फिश मार्केट कर रहा
party
होता
में जो
है,
भी
रेस्टोरेंट में he's given a
गाने.
job,
Can't
clean
think
कर
of
रहा
it
होता है.
anymore.
और what else could you क्या कर रहा है यार? How could I forget this?
Okay, so I
Damn.
think we'll move on. So, okay, the answer
हाँ.
is he cleans cars, but that is only
Oh
shown
yes,
in the
he's
song.
I would never have
There's
gotten
only
this. I don't.
कार
You
वॉश
literally
का
cut
भी
the
होता है.
heart.
रिमेम्बर
car wash.
कार वॉश का वो बोर्ड भी होता है.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
प्रीति आप
I
ना
knew you would
पॉइंट
ask
नहीं
this as a
मिलेंगे.
question.
पॉइंट
ठीक है,
नहीं
नहीं
मिलेंगे.
मैं
चला
पॉइंट्स के लिए
गया.
नहीं बोल रही हूँ यार.
वो बोल रही है कि मुझे मालूम था गाइस.
हाँ, मुझे मालूम,
वो
मैंने
फ्लेक्स
देखा
के
था
लिए
बस
बोल रही है.
भूल
मैंने
गया.
देखा था.
नहीं मतलब मैंने नोटिस किया था. मैंने सोचा था कि अगर मैं क्विज बनाऊंगी तो मैं ये क्वेश्चन जरूर रखूंगी उसने क्या क्या किया था. एंड देन आई
फिर भी तुम
forgot
भूली.
because I
I think
didn't
that is a little more shameful than us forgetting because हमने नोटिस ही नहीं किया.
Okay, guys, let's move
Okay,
on.
okay, chalo, let's move on. I mean, this should be easy. This movie clashed with what?
Oh wait, I know
Clashed
this.
with someone.
It's an Ajay Devgan movie.
आज
Oh
Son of
fuck.
Sardar.
Damn
Yeah,
it.
okay,
Is that
Diggy
right?
gets it.
Ah.
Yeah.
अरे यार.
Because I remember the controversy happening.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
I
sued them.
just didn't remember which Ajay Devgan movie was this.
मेरे
But
दिमाग
then
में
I remember
singing king आ
Salman
रहा
Khan.
था यार. I was like,
That's,
it's some
that's
Sardar.
not
I'm
even
like
Johnny
singing
Depp.
king, and I'm like, no, wait, it's not that one.
multiple Ajay
Yeah.
Devgan clashes were a thing back in those days, no?
वो कैंप पे भी
Yeah.
था
Okay,
उन
next
लोगों का,
question.
शाहरुख and
Yeah.
others and Ajay Devgan and Salman Khan. Yeah,
Yeah. Anyway, so
cool.
Diksha, this was what I was telling you earlier. मैंने Son of Sardar actually theater में देखी थी,
Oh.
instead of this one. But yeah, anyway, this is
Oh.
obviously much better.
Way better. No comparison. But
Okay,
good.
ठीक है, चलो. Diggy gets one. Okay, so when he goes back and Zayn is again in the picture,
Yeah.
he has a restaurant, right? What is the name of
Yeah.
that restaurant?
Samar's kitchen.
Samar's
Samar's kitchen.
kitchen.
Diksha got it.
Yes, I get it.
यार shit हाँ.
I'm quite sad. मेरे को मैंने बोला but ठीक है. I think I was late.
हाँ नहीं.
Okay,
She
ठीक
got
है,
it
चलो,
first.
nice. Okay, next one. So obviously Shah Rukh has shown diffusing many bombs.
108.
He has.
107, 108 तो
No, no,
diffuse
no.
कर रहा हूँ।
108.
What is
This
the
is not a bad.
वैसा
What is
नहीं है.
the? अच्छा, okay.
108 is right. I mean, that is not what I was asking, but it's like during the movie, how many? Because at the start also he's shown
Oh.
99.
bomb.
90. मैथ्स
Oh,
कराएगा यार.
97, 98 तो कर रहा होता है शुरू में. 98 करता है वो.
Yeah, okay,
11.
Diggy got
9th
it.
करता है
Diggy gets it.
with last.
Yeah, yeah, okay, 98, yeah.
Yeah.
So
He writes it
okay,
on the
so
diary also.
yeah, exactly. So I was going to ask 11, yeah, 11, sort of 98 and 108.
Okay.
Okay, so Diggy is 2.
Yeah, 11 तो मैंने
Preeti-
बोला था.
No, you didn't. You said 11.
I said 11.
Before
Diggy's
he-
like 98. I'm like, no, 11. ठीक है, no,
When did
Diggy
you
gets
say? Are you
it.
sure?
I just did the maths while Diggy was explaining it. I said 11.
Okay. अरे.
Okay, no, so but ठीक है. Should we give you points? I don't know.
No, give
I
Diggy
didn't
the
hear
points
it.
for
के
this.
points थोड़ी ना है.
No, उसने नहीं
Unless you knew
actually
98.
actually में मैथ्स किया था, उसको आता नहीं था वो उसका आंसर, so हम points नहीं
No,
दे
I
सकते
knew
हैं
it,
इसके,
but
sorry.
like Diggy was explaining it anyway. But Diggy gets it because he explained it. So
I'm okay halving the points with you. I'm not that
Okay, then
competitive. I
let's
want to
half the points,
I'm to
Diggy.
shed off that label. Yeah.
So
Okay,
okay,
ठीक है,
Diggy and I
चलो,
are both
so-
at 1.5.
Okay, ठीक है. So final question only, and we'll wrap this up. So this is my favorite question. Okay, so this movie is 175, 176 minutes long, but it was supposed to be 180 minutes. Something happened, which is why they couldn't do
Yeah,
this.
the song.
Raj
Yeah,
died.
Chopra
The
died.
song.
Yash
That
Chopra
song.
died.
No. There was a song. The title track was supposed to be in it, which was
Shot in
supposed to be a
Switzerland, वो
chiffon
नहीं कर पाए.
saree.
It was supposed to be shot in
ठीक है,
by
ये
Switzerland.
that-
सबको पता है. Okay, ठीक है.
Ali was so
But-
excited
but-
for this.
That
yaar.
was it.
It
Okay,
was
but-
supposed to be shot in Switzerland, but they didn't do that because Yash Chopra passed away, and they didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of us got it,
Okay,
but
so I
like,
think Ticha anyway was not
Didn't
answering
get it.
this.
अरे मैंने
Preeti-
बोला
Preeti
Yash
had-
Chopra
I
died.
answered. क्यों?
I
हाँ,
said
but
Yash
what
Chopra
after
died.
that?
उसके
हाँ, तो
like I'm
Ali
not
asked
gonna
एक
speak over
second,
all of you.
एक
No.
second. No,
Okay, ठीक
but एक second. I said it first, guys. Ali, no, this is
हाँ,
But I
okay,
cheating.
think
if I said
सबको
it.
I
आया.
agree. Preeti gets it. 1 point to Preeti. I'm
But then
okay
it's a
with that.
tiebreaker, no?
No, why? She's
Yeah,
at
yeah,
1
true.
point, one and a
Yeah,
half, 1.5.
So you
Yeah.
both need a
हाँ,
tiebreaker,
so we-
no?
Oh, नहीं, then I get the point because उसके बाद तो मैं बोल रहा था.
अरे यार तो that is not
ये कैसी
fair.
बात
Give a tiebreaker question.
ठीक है,
अरे
okay,
यार.
ठीक है. Only between Diksha and
Getting
Diggy,
the
I was like-
competitiveness, Diggy. What is
It's okay. Let
Uh,
Preeti also answer. We're at 1.5, and 1. No, if she gets it, then she wins. So like,
If she gets it, she
yeah.
wins.
Okay, ठीक है. I'll ask a little bit tough. Like, see if you get it. So, which there's a certain laptop advertised through the movie.
Ultrabook.
I said it first.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think Preeti got it. No, Preeti
I
got it.
said it first.
I think they
नहीं,
said
नहीं,
it at the
I
same
said
time.
it first.
I think
I
they said it
said
at
it
the same time.
first.
Ali, just give them
We
another
will look at
question.
the recording. I
Ali,
am
just
sorry.
give them another question.
Okay.
Guys, the
Oh my
recording's on my
God, I can't-
laptop. I'm telling
I
you,
am
you said it at the
sure.
same time.
ये लैग है because मेरे को प्रीति के बाद में आई है मेरे से.
नहीं तो मेरे को तुम दोनों
No,
की
no,
आवाज
मैंने
साथ
पहले
में आई
बोला
है
है.
इसलिए मैं बोल रही हूँ कि you said it at the same time. So Ali, give
ठीक
them
है,
another
ठीक है,
question.
चलो. Okay, fair enough. तो ये तो बहुत ही tough है. You'll have to make guesses. So the Roger guy that is shown
Yeah.
in the movie.
Yeah.
So he's not an actor. Okay, his original
हाँ.
occupation is something else. Maybe take guesses.
Dancer.
Investment banker.
No, like no.
In the movie
Why would he
or
be
in
investment
general?
banker and
in
movie?
the-
No, not in
in the movie.
In real.
Otherwise,
No,
na.
in real.
The actor
Otherwise-
का job you're asking, like the person who played the role of
Like
Roger.
the actor is modeling part time, and that is how he ended up
Okay.
having this role. But he
Okay.
originally does something different, like very different.
Oh shit. यार ये कैसा
The
question
chef.
है really?
Just take okay guesses. Chef is a good guess. I mean, not at all close. but
Hospitality में है.
Waiter.
Owns the hotel.
No. Think England. थोड़ा England.
थोड़ा
Cop.
England.
No, he's a cop.
He's a bartender.
No, these are very traditional. Think थोड़ा out of the box
हाँ.
occupation.
He
Okay.
stands
मतलब
outside
वो क्या
Buckingham Palace as
लंदन
a
ब्रिज
guard.
पे वो
guard
लंदन
है.
ब्रिज पे
He's a farmer.
No.
He
ठीक है,
can't
okay.
even visit Duke or something.
दूसरा
क्या?
क्वेश्चन दे दे
ठीक है,
यार हमें
I'll
tiebreaker
ask
देना.
different question. He's a footballer. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is not think England.
Wow.
But okay.
ठीक है ठीक है चलो
सोचा
last
ही नहीं.
question. There's
Oh
वो
shit.
Zayn
Otherwise we
का
call it a tie. Huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
Zayn
Ashmi.
tells like अरे
अच्छा,
नहीं.
sorry.
What?
Zayn tells how he
Preeti, question finish
क्योंकि
करने
people are
दे
listening
यार.
also ना. पॉडकास्ट तो लोगों के लिए है ना, उनको तो सुनने थे क्वेश्चन किया है. मतलब उसने जैन प्रीत तो भी आंसर दे दिया.
Zayn
go
tells how he lands up Maria, which is through a certain term. when Shah Rukh asked, how did
Jail.
you
पाकिस्तान की
PPK?
करिश्मा समथिंग क्या पाकिस्तान का something
Yeah,
he
okay.
says ना
Digi gets it.
पाकिस्तानी
Pakistan Pathan da Kamal.
पाकिस्तान पठान का
Uh,
कमाल
PPK,
पाकिस्तान पठान का कमाल
PPK.
PPK
PPK.
yeah पाकिस्तान पठान का कमाल but
Did
I
you
get it
remember that?
We
Because
have
he says PPK and then the subtitle says charisma, and I
yes
was like, charisma is not spelled with a K.
yeah
I also noticed
I
that.
remember I remember Pakistan I knew but charisma I remember the subtitles तो मुझे पाकिस्तान पठान का कमाल नहीं आता रहा था but okay
okay.
got it
Anyway, Digi wins. Congrats.
cool okay
Awesome. With that, we are at the end of this very, very long episode. If you've listened up till here, you are awesome. We love you. And the very last segment that we have is we are going to guess what movie has been picked for next week. And it's been picked by Preeti, and it's from the
Yes.
2000s. So I guess we get like one guess each. Ali, do you want to go first?
Okay. मैं हूं ना?
Oh, actually, we have an unfair advantage because we know which movies are reserved for future guests. So, take another guess.
Oh,
Ali.
okay, that's
Meuna,
a-
it's not going to be Meuna. So,
Veer Zara?
that's not picked yet. So, ठीक है, valid guess. Diggy?
I think Sudesh
I think चलते.
All of you are wrong.
Oh God, don't tell me
वो
we're
शादी हो
watching
गया
खुशी
like
से बोल रही है
हम तुम्हारे
खुशी से
हैं
बोल रही
सनम
है
or something like that.
We are watching One to Go Forward.
Ooh, nice.
nice good
Oh,
selection
yeah.
not
I
a
saw
movie a
it
lot of people
turn
watch or know it
27 years, 23 years. 23 years recently to its
Yeah.
release, and there were a lot of videos were going around, and I want to rewatch it. So yes,
Yeah, it's a
One to
super
Go
fun
Forward
movie.
it is.
Cool. All right, next episode. That's what you're watching. Any last thoughts?
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
Thank
Yes,
you for joining us and thank you for listening in so loyally. We appreciate
Yeah, and
it.
for making
And
such a really fun quiz, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, so
So
fun.
engaging.
Thank you. Kafi
I
tough.
think
I mean,
we should-
काफी
we
tough
should take lessons.
close. Yeah.
We should take lessons.
Yeah,
quiz
we were not
ऐसे बनाना चाहिए
competitive
quiz.
at all. We were not competitive at all. We are shredding our competitiveness, as Jiggy said.
we need to make a rule to allow the quizmaster to complete the question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Preeti,
That is for
Preeti,
you.
Yes.
This is for you.
108. 108.
जब तक है-
Like imagine someone who's like maybe seen the movie 7 years ago. They're like, what was the question even? 108 क्या?
I know.
Achha, theek hai, guys. As Shah Rukh said in the movie, and I'm going to repeat it, Dun Dun London. So now we are
London
done
कर
with
दो
the
जी.
podcast. So
चलो जी लंदन हो गया है podcast. चलो all right guys. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.
See you
मैंने
next
पहले
week.
कह दो.
Bye bye.
See you next week.
see you next
Bye-bye.
week.